Office is crazy looking. That's what all that stuff is over there. Craft projects. And I didn't put everything back where it goes. So I've decided that I am going to talk about these different clinics that I'm looking at for embryo donation and adoption. The first clinic I will start with is the clinic that I originally went to when I decided to try ovarian rejuvenation. And after I had it, I did get an improvement in my AMH level, but the doctor did not feel like it was significant enough and said that I needed to try egg donor or embryo donation. And my mind wasn't really open to it, but I was interested in getting more information. Well, he told me that the nurse would be getting in touch with me, and she didn't get in touch with me, and I gave her way more time than it should take, because usually that's within 24 to 48 hours. And even then, I think I had to call someone else, and then they finally were like, can you give her the information? And she didn't want to tell me anything. She wouldn't tell me anything about the process, and was like, you just have to come to the class. Well, I need to know a little bit before I consider coming to the class, since the class is a paid class. You have to pay for the class, and I think it's $60 and maybe more than that. And she was just like, it was like pulling teeth. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this, because you have to deal with the nurses a lot when you're doing reproductive things. So once I made that decision, I just right now was like, oh, let me just go and just kind of look at their website. Let me just type this in. And I type it in, and they do give you a starting price. The thing that they say varies is the medication, which of course, and you do have to have a psychological evaluation and all that. I've had one before, because when I started IUI, intrauterine insemination, I had to have one before I started there. But I'm sure that's been years ago. They'll have me have another one, which is just a total waste. But anyway, so I'm here now filling out the application, and I just wish they would be a little more specific about the information that they're asking for. But it's just very basic, and they just basically say that they will match you. And they try to match you based on the parameters that you give. And I don't really, and then if you don't like what they offer you, then they put you back at the bottom of the list. Well, you're not really giving me a lot of boxes to check for what I'm looking for. And I don't necessarily want them to match me based on any particular criteria, because I just want very healthy embryos. So I'm not bound by race or culture. It wouldn't matter to me. But I do think that the parents that are donating their embryos may have preferences, and I think that that comes into it, but it does not really ask. So I will say that the price does look reasonable, affordable, and it may be something to look into. This is at the North Carolina Center for Reproductive Medicine. And so this may be something that you want to consider doing. However, you do have to have a consultation at their clinic. And there was something else on here regarding consultation. So you're not going to just get on this waiting list and match with embryos and that's it. You do have to attend their class. You do have to get whatever workups they want you to get. You do have to have psychological screening. There is no home study, and on this application they do not list that age is a factor. However, remember, they're not really providing you with any insight into the preferences that the donating couples or the donating woman or man would have. So it is very possible that the people that are doing the donating have restrictions, and they don't want you to be above or at a specific age. So do keep that in mind on your journey. Have your mind open to finding that out before you pay any such fees. All right, and so that's my one for today. Here's your basic application, and from it being so basic and from this being easily accessible from a web search, pretty sure that they will be contacting you to follow up with many questions or with an appointment for you to go in for a consultation. But like I said, I've already been to this clinic in the past, so they have my stuff. My most recent visit was in May or June. Anyway, that was just not necessary, but it was very recent. So I'm not sure how long their waiting list is. I don't know what all they have to offer. I do know that people in areas of South Carolina go to them, but there are other states very close by. There's a lot of bordering states that do have many fertility clinics to choose from. So I'm not really sure what their range of adoption options would be. And then my concern is that I'm not ready to do this right now. I'm going to be more ready to do this next summer. So for me, it could be good because if they have a long waiting list or they don't have a lot of options, great. It might not be so good if they call me up and they're like, we got a match. Do you want it? And I'm like, wow, everything lines up for this. So we will just have to see. But I do think I'm going to go ahead and turn this application in. I'm not sure, and I'm not going to make you watch or have you watch me wait to make up my mind. So I'm going to check out and I'll let you know.